We're gonna get back on this Subaru coming up next. Alright, so we're back here on the Subaru. Currently put the floor pan in. And I've got a piece of metal here that I was going to use. That's a piece off that old dryer that was laying out there. I'm going to just grind the edges off and weld it back in. Now, I've had people say, don't use this metal for some odd reason. Man, it's baked on paint. I can't see it not holding up better than anything I can put on this. So I'm going to use it. I've got it. It's laying here. I'm not going to put a lot of money in this car. And it's got to be better than what was in there. It's all sheet metal, so I don't see it be a problem. And my granny had a dryer set on her back porch for almost 30 years, exposed and never rusted once. So I'm going to use this metal. I don't know if this piece is big enough. We've been fighting with our metal breaker. We got a one-off jigs, and I'm not impressed with it at all. I got it real cheap because Jigs had it on sale. They were having some kind of summer sale last year or something like that. But I've got it clamped to the bench here. And basically it's supposed to come with some extra clamps to hold this big bar of metal to do it. They weren't in the box. I don't know if you had to buy those extra. And apparently you just lay your metal in there and clamp this down and just this bends up. And that's how you do it. I've got some of these cheap vice grip type clamps here. The welding clamps. That I'm going to use to hold it. So I'm going to get in here and take a measurement on this floor pan, see how big a piece of metal I need, and we'll see if we can bend something up like we need and weld it in here. All right, now this piece right here wouldn't work. It's not big enough, but I found this piece, and I got that piece over there too. But this piece is exactly the length I need, and it's got this little dimple right here. But guess what? This is wide enough here to go to the flat part of the floor, and this little dimple is right where I need to kick it up. So I think if I just cut it, I can roll this up and use this piece. I'm gonna go try to cut the edges off this right quick, and we'll see about rolling it up here. I'm gonna go out here and do cutting. It's 70-some degrees out. I'm gonna go enjoy this weather while I'm doing this. Bought one of these guys at Harbor Freight for $4. You remember last time I almost put my eye out, so I figured I better do something. I ain't the big on wearing stuff like this. Nothing bothers me, but I really want to be able to see, so I went ahead and bought me something. Keep myself just a little safer. So I got it looking pretty good on the edges. And I got that big ugly piece of galvanized metal off. That was harder than anything. So we're gonna take it over to the metal brake now. Walk over through my messy shop here that I can never get time to clean up. Let me put this guy on here, and hopefully we can bend it. And I don't have any instructions, so I don't know. Try to put it on this side, see if it works better. See what happens when I do it this way. Yeah. It's got a little bit of a roll I didn't really want in it, but let's see if I can flex it a little further there. So I guess that's how you do it. Like I said, I have no instructions, and it's not like the big foot ones that I'm used to. So I think that'll work though. I mean, it's got that little dip, but it kind of gives you that similar roll that what the factory had. And then I've got this piece, like I said, to cut these ears off a little bit, and this will roll up on that lip. So we'll see how it fits in the car, just setting it in there. I'm gonna take these little ears off before I put it in there on the grinder right quick. Now, we're going to trim it down, obviously, and then we're going to have to fix that lip a little better. But I believe that's going to go in there once I get it all trimmed out to the right size. That's going to work pretty good, actually. I think it's going to look pretty good, actually. So, let me go do some more trimming, get it to the right length and width and everything. It's a little wide. I wanted it a little wide, though, anyway, because I didn't know, you know, I don't want, it's easier to, didn't have to make a new piece if I, you know, if I cut it too short, I have to make a new piece. Cut it too long, or weld another piece into it. This way I can just put this in and weld it up. So, let me get in here and do some more cutting here and there and some fine tuning on it. And we might be able to get this piece in. So we're going to trim this floor down, that piece of metal down to it's 9 inches wide. I measured it 10, so I'd have a little more, but if we straighten this line up right here, where I got off a little bit. Ghost wasn't happy, was he? But anyway, we straighten this line up right here. We'll do that. Then we'll cut this little lip off right through here, so we'll have that lip to weld back into. And we'll make this 9 inches wide. And we should be able to set the whole thing in there. So I made me a nice big line with a screw in my level there, so it's nice and straight. Now we'll see if I can actually guide this through it. Hopefully I can. I don't think it came out too bad. Like I said, we've got a little off me trying to be cheap and save a blade here. That's looking pretty good, actually. Like I said, now I need to just clean it up here, a straight line. Need to clean this a little bit off this tab. I'm going to have to, probably not going to get it welded today. I'm waiting on a roll-lock grinder. And I had one. Flood got it. Like everything else, I hate to keep saying that, but it did. So it ain't come in yet. And it was crazy expensive to buy one here in town. Alright, so I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I've got this piece made to go right here. And I'm going to hammer and dolly it just a little bit, but that looks pretty good. I'm going to patch that little spot with that. Got it scored out. Might go ahead and cut it right now in a second. Might actually try to weld it in there. I don't know. Be the first weld I ever done. I don't know if I want to do it on a hood just yet, but you know, Ain't really worried about this cart much. So there's just a piece of scrap I had laying over here out of what I cut out of that floor pan I'm making. I'm gonna take that lip off that floor pan, not the roll up, but that little lip. It's just too tall. I need it to be a ½ inch shorter. So not gonna be able to do that just yet. I may hammer and dolly this out just a little better, and then we'll see about maybe cutting this out and welding it in. I don't know. I can get this stuff. Pretty flat. This one I need a little bit of that roll in it. So that's how the hood rolls. Let's see how we're looking over here. Usually I wouldn't do this on the car. That right there will be alright. We'll probably put a little filler in it. But I ain't saying we ain't gonna have to. But over and get a little. Like I said, we probably do a little filler, a little grinding, but that looks pretty good. Once we cut that and weld that in, should be alright. I got a little roll right here I'm going to have to try to get out though. I'm going to do it over here on the bench. Let me turn you around over here. Turn you around on this bench where I can sit. Put this flat on something. I can't hardly do it with my hands. Alright, so that looks a little better. About what I want. Alright, let's flip it back around and show you the car here. I mean, I think that's going to be seamless here. I'll bring you closer and show you. Once we cut that out, put a weld on it, I think it'll be alright. So let me get a new cutoff wheel, and we'll go ahead and cut that part out. Alright, here we go. Cutting on a hood. See what we can do. I've scored it out with a little screw here, drywall screw. I'm getting my mask so I don't kill myself. Alright. Let's get some gloves on that one. Burning me too bad. These welding gloves on. Feel like a professional out here. right now. There we go. That's gonna look pretty good, guys. I'm gonna have to trim the edges of this up just a little bit. I'm gonna have to clean up some edges, but as a whole, it's gonna work. That's gonna work. So I got a water brush here on the drill. I'm just gonna bend the hood in. All right. Guys, paint stinks. Smells like poop. Worst smelling paint I've ever smelled, guys. Smells like poop and great poop after you beat crazy. We're down to bare metal there. Great, the camera fell. Love it, love it. Anyway, you didn't see any of that, but we're down to bare metal. Right there. So, I need to take this little flap down to bare metal that I made. And we need to raise the hood, pull the insulation out. Let me get something to hold these with. I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I said, you're seeing me first welds on the channel here. Get better as we go along. It's in there. I mean, it ain't perfect. That's what a grinder's for, right? So I'm gonna grind this down, work it out a little better. Now I am pretty good at working like metal out with a hammer and dolly, so I can straighten this out just a little bit. It warped a little bit, not bad. I'm having trouble figuring out the settings. Wish I had somebody here to help me show me, but I don't. I ain't got a class I can go take, or I would. They shut all that down around here, and I work way too much. If I had somebody come in here 30 minutes and show me a little bit, I'd be really thrilled about it. But you know what? As long as it gets welded up and looks all right once it's ground down, I really do not care. So let this cool for a little bit, and I'm gonna grind it down and see what it looks like. You know what? After I've been grinding on it a little bit and smoothed it out, it ain't that bad. Like I said, I've just got it barely tacked. I don't have it tacked all the way. and I know I'm going to go back over it, but I'm not mad at myself. I've seen a lot worse done by people that supposedly know what they're doing, and I don't. I mean, I'm figuring it out as I go right now. So, but you know what? We grind it down. We're going to have to get that roll lock in to grind these good. That's just, this thing's too big. Need something I can get in there with. But yeah, I think if I go in, get all these little pinholes in and grind that rest of the way smooth, I think I'll be all right. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the comments are going to go be like, oh, you can't weld, and I can't. I mean, this is the first time I've ever touched one. So, any tips, tricks, I mean, y'all tell me, because tell me what I'm doing wrong. I mean, like I said, I've never had the first class. I've never picked one of these up before. So, you know, I'm trying. And, you know, I'm not mad at myself as long as it's solid and I can paint over it and make it look good. Man, I'm happy with it. So, well, that's all I'm doing tonight. I might go back in, touch the rest of these up right quick for a few minutes, and it's late. I'm gonna go lay down with my little youngin', and hope y'all ain't too rough on me in the comments. Like I said, it's the first time I've welded, and I know how to shape metal and stuff really well, but when it comes to welding, that's something I've just never been taught. I mean, I've really never been taught any of this stuff. I'm an amateur at everything. That's the thing. I go out here and I learn and I teach myself. I watch other people online and I watch people do it and I just teach myself. And if I screw up, I screw up. You know, and that's part of it. I mean, you can always fix it back if I did screw it up real bad, but I mean, I've seen worse. So I think once I get it all the pinholes welded in and it's smoothed out, we'll never know it was there, and I'll be happy with it. Like I said, it's a car I've got $100 in right now, so hopefully we can turn it into a profit, and that's the whole idea behind it. But I think it's going to be a cool little car when I get it done, but I think people are going to fall in love with it when I get it done. Yeah, after I hit it with a grinder, it ain't too bad. I mean, for the first time, like I said, I got to body work it a little bit, warped it a little bit, but I straightened it out. We'll put a little filler in it, and we'll call that good. Ain't got no pinholes now. Still figuring out, like, voltages and all that stuff. I'm like, wire feed, voltage, all that stuff. I really don't know what I'm doing, like all that stuff 100%, so I'm kind of just guessing. And I'm going by this little chart that it's got, but like it was too fast or too, and you know, the wire feed sometimes, and I'd have to cut it down and stuff. So I just had to kind of adjust to what I was doing. So I mean, and I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I really don't know. I've also burnt my hand out of pieces. I should have put my gloves back on, but oh well. It's hard for me to do anything in gloves, I'll tell you. So, you know what? This satisfied me though. Figured out a mistake I made last night welding, and it come to me today on my way to work. My gas wasn't working right, and that's why I was having a little bit of issues. Still done pretty good. Like I said, it's a learning curve for me. There's a little knob that goes in the regulator, and it weren't in it, and I ended up finding it later. I don't know why it wasn't in the regulator. That's the way it came to me. And I ended up finding it on the bench there last night, or this morning actually. So next weld we probably pull, we'll make sure we got the gas working. That's my mistake. Like I said, I'm real green at this stuff. So hopefully they get better as I go along here. Till next time, just keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, and if you can rig welds better than I can, more power to you. But keep rigging things up.